I don't want to film my face today because my fucking jaw just is swollen. Man, yeah, no, the guitar is fucking. It's just better than I thought it would be. It's absolutely amazing. I've played the real. I've played ones like it, and the ones from the '70s and '60s, and it's identical. It's a little bit heavy. It's truly identical to those because the Firebird 7 like this isn't in production anymore. But this one I would call it an exact replica. Now, when you load that many pickups, I've been told and I've noticed, you get a distribution uh, thing going on, and it's weird. You got one volume knob and three tones, and I noticed the potentiometers are wired funny. It's wired in like parallel or something. The wiring is strange, and they're a little bit low output and they're a tiny bit noisy, but it sounds great. The thing is, though, it's like a really fast car because the action is like super fast. And like the other guy said, you got to watch your picking because there's not a lot of room to fuck around with your pick. That wasn't my problem with it, though. But it's like if you ever got behind a small or like a fucking car that's really powerful, and you step on the gas and it's got so much pickup that you didn't know it was going to take off. It's kind of surprising. It's so sleek. You overshoot notes, and the fact that the neck has all those frets, which is that's exactly how many a guitar should have because it makes about three octaves all the way up. It's fucking amazing. It's really amazing. It doesn't allow for sloppiness, though. You got to play exactly how you should play it. And yeah, it's awesome. I tried to hook up the compressor, but you're talking about split coil pickups at some point, so it was kind of feeding back and doing freaky stuff. But it sounds fucking awesome. I'm so glad I got it. There's a big price difference between like fucking $4,000 and $475. And yeah, in the Gibson tradition, they often make, or they used to, guitars and basses that are big, like a coffee table big. You could like put your beer on the fucking thing. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it is big. And it's a little bit heavier than a normal guitar should be, which is cool. But it seems like you like that. I like it too. I was pleasantly surprised. I was waiting and I'm thinking, there's no fucking way. I'm like, the pictures had to have lied because there's no fucking way they can, you're talking about a solid. In other words, the neck isn't bolted on with screws. It's like one piece of wood or three pieces of wood that are fused together. And it's so awesome because it reeks of that era that I never got to live through that I love, like the futurism era, the like retro populux fucking era, where it's like 1965, 64, and big cars like that. And it is like a car like that. The reason the wood comes up in its recess is to ensure the neck action is great. You know what fucks me? I've never played a guitar like this before, where the switching is up near the horn, and the whammy's kind of in the way unless you move it a certain, and you got all these knobs and all these pickups. It's just wonderful. I'm so pleased with it. I've had such bad experiences buying, guitars that I'll just say just guitars, and this was such a surprise. I was so pleasantly surprised. It's identical. It's identical to the ones I've seen in the past that are just way too much money. I got to find out who this company was. It was to beat the copyrights and trademarks and stuff. It came from another country, but it was assembled here and shit like that, which is great. It's just great. But I don't know. I kind of losing my To be honest with you, I'm kind of losing my interest in guitar because I'm sick of the same sound I get. I enjoy playing a little bit, but sometimes I'm just like, I'm sick of this sound. I need somebody to inspire me with a new, with, you know, you just get sick of it and you don't know how good you are. And I should be singing and playing. There's so many songs I know to sing and play. I just picked it up and plugged it in. And, yeah, I mean, I think guitars with me is an amphetamine thing. Really, it's just like, that's when I'm most interested in it because it gives you something to do with your hands. And the telehealth bitch called today and she's like, "Oh, you're having trouble logging in?" It's like, yeah, every time I call, I can't log in with these fucking passwords. It's like someone's got it out for me. They don't want me to get my fucking meds. That's when I'm happiest, I got the Jella guitar though. Jella loves it. She's playing it in the other room. It's fucking awesome, dad. Jella's a prodigy. She's real good. Yep. I want Pig Bitch to see this the most because Pig Bitch was going to buy me one. She came into some money once and she couldn't find the VII. And neither could I. She felt bad about it. She's like, "This one's closed." I'm like, "Yeah, no. I want the 70s one. It's an excellent guitar. Excellent. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, wow. Somebody said a lot of people think it's ugly and like garish or something. I don't think so. I think it's one of the most beautiful guitars I've ever seen. To me, I don't know. I think and the VII is a really weird one to get to because of the 3 pickups. But there's like a strange distribution in it or power with the pickups. I don't know. It sounds fucking awesome though. Usually you would think that like because there's lots of ways to beat a trademark. You can make it smaller. You could change this company here did everything possible to keep it exactly like the original, and which is really fucking cool. Because sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes, I got my Epiphone in the car. I'm looking at my guitars and they're all dusty and it's just sad. I miss playing. I really love to play the bass too. I'm good at that. I like to, but my sound, I'm just a unique player. I don't really fit in anywhere I go because I'll play a semi-hollow bass and I'll make it sound like the guy from fucking, what's his name? The guy from Jefferson Airplane or something. I like his bass and I like Paul McCartney and just tons and tons and tons of bass with no treble. The treble rolled off. And loud, And the thing about the Hendrix, somebody said, "Well, you don't sound like Hendrix." Only Hendrix sounds like Hendrix. But to get close to Hendrix, you literally have to plug into a Marshall JCM or a jump panel or something like that, JMP, and turn it up as loud as it will go because that's the Hendrix sound. Is speakers that are breaking up, and sometimes I think Hendrix speakers were torn too, just like the Kinks, because there's a lot of sounds there that aren't natural that come out of his guitar. No, you can't play Hendrix in your house. It's just incredibly loud. That's the Hendrix trademark. And nobody really plays like Hendrix. He's fucking left-handed with the string strung the other way. That's the people's, fascination with him. I try to take whatever I can get from him, but he's really my favorite guitar player of all time, I think. I don't think there's ever been another one that did it for me like that. You look, and it's weird because when you look at these fuzz face pedals, and you can actually go get, there's nothing you can do but get the original fuzz face germanium fuzz pedals, which are super expensive. They don't make them anymore, But the fuzz pedals they make now are not. It's weird. It's like they can't make a transistorized fuzz pedal anymore because the production is all different. I've heard so many ones like the Octavia pedal that adds a false octave that he used and shit. It's just nobody has that fuzz anymore, that breakup, that 60 sound. And some of it sucks, like bing, bing, buzz, but like Hendrix had he back then when people heard him, they must have thought, wow, that is a saturated gain state. Because his fuzz and his distortion just sounded incredible. He literally probably was like the Dimebag Darrell back in the day, but I mean not that anybody ever compares to him, but he sounded like he came from outer space. You've literally got to have, when you do Hendrix, you got to play the Stratocaster number one, and you got to have a Marshall cranked up as high as it will go. That's just the Hendrix way. And there's back in the 90s is the last time people stopped examining him because guitar is kind of dead. But they would examine him and nobody ever hears what I hear. I even hear sometimes they put the mics really far away from his amp, But yeah, this guitar is incredible. I'm so fucking pleased. I was really worried about it. And it's amazing. I mean, sometimes it's good to take a chance. I was really, really, really fucking worried about it. Couldn't be happier with that. But it's like a fast car. It's like you would, I've played all kinds of guitar types, but I'm not used to this type. It takes a minute to get acquainted. When you're tuning it up, the reverse headstock really fucks with you. Because you're like, it's like the first time I got a 12 string with 6 pegs on each side. It's like, where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is that? No, where's that tuning peg? Fucking awesome, though. I love it. I almost got it in green. But they didn't have it anymore. But yeah, I got a Gibson Grabber. I hope it's still in storage. I didn't see it the last time I was there. Gibson bass, or Ripper, whatever it is. It's probably the Ripper. Or it might be a Grabber. I'm not sure. But that's another bass from the 70s. That thing is literally like a small coffee table. It's such a big fucking instrument. Pig Bitch would love this if she's seen it. Because we studied that guitar for the longest time. Try tracking it down. I was talking to my mother, and she doesn't know anything about guitars. I'm like, would you just look at it? She's like, there's 7 different types of them. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm trying to show you. This is the 7. But hell yeah, it's fucking awesome.